Another Death Row production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world. Everybody else for.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. It is Monday, July 27th. Looking back at yesterday, yesterday I took the day off. It's going to be the last Sunday I missed. I've been coaching the Pee Wee football team in my neighborhood. I have not been wanting to do this. The original coach in the neighborhood dropped out, and I've always been the assistant the last few years. I was planning on taking off this season, but like I said, they needed a coach. A lot of the parents talked me into it. Boy, did I dread the last month and a half. It's been a pain in the ass. These kids are annoying. I'm going to tell you guys this. In the upcoming year, well, even right now, when you watch our American sports and you see these foreign kids coming here dominating our guys, there's a reason for that. Our kids don't want to play sports no more. They want to be Kai Cenat. They want to be streamers and stuff like that. And I think that's going to keep on happening in these upcoming years. Anyways, whatever, yes, I'm over with it. It's done. I can just focus back on what I want to focus on. Let's talk about Saturday, though. Saturday, I mean, it was dreadful. Saturday, the Dodgers blew the run line. We played them. That was our ladder play. They blew the run line last minute. That ended up shooting us in the foot. And then, like a dummy, I played the White Sox in our three-leg parlay once again. Just like Friday, the White Sox blew the three-leg parlay. Oh my goodness, man. It was just super annoying. Then from Saturday night to go coach these little bastards Sunday, I just couldn't wait for the weekend to be over. But you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. It's Monday. We have a 12-game slate of baseball here on tap today. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook, the link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also, at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, first game up, we got the Mariners in Texas taking on the Rangers. We got George Kirby on the mount for the Mariners. We got Kumar Rocker on the mount for the Rangers. Alright, getting into this one here, we got George Kirby on the mount for the Mariners. This guy's been good for Seattle this season. A few blow-up starts here and there, but since the All-Star break, he's made 3 starts. In those 3 starts, he has a 1.80 ERA, 0.97 whip. He has a really good strikeout-to-walk ratio. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Texas Rangers lineup. We've seen them in this series already put up a bunch of runs on Brandon Wu as well as Logan Gilbert yesterday. Here today for George Kirby, another right-handed pitcher this Rangers lineup is going to be seeing. They are overall on the year a middle-of-the-pack lineup versus right-handed pitching. They do have very good on-base percentage and average versus right-handed pitching. The slugging numbers are a bit low, but looking at the matchup breakdown for George Kirby here today, looking at his pitching arsenal versus this lineup, I can see him coming out here today having a quality start. He has very good numbers against this lineup in the past matchups. I'm expecting George Kirby to go about 6 innings here today, give up 2 runs before we get to Seattle Mariners bullpen. They got some really good arms available to come in here today and shut down these Rangers bats. On the other side, we got Kumar Rocker on the mount. This guy has been the meaning of inconsistent this season. He has had some really blow-up starts, then he'll go 6 shutout the very next game. Looking at the matchup breakdown for Kumar Rocker, for one, I gotta pay attention to the blow-up starts. Every time he's ever had a blow-up start, it comes against a lineup that's able to stack left-handed bats. He has terrible splits versus lefties this season. Not to mention, those lineups also slug very high versus right-handed pitching. That's one thing he doesn't have to worry about here today with Seattle. They are going to be able to stack the lefties, the slugging numbers, the average on base, all bottom 10 in the league versus right-handed pitching. I'm expecting Kumar Rocker to, when I look at this pitching arsenal and the matchup breakdown for him, I can see him struggling in this game. He throws the velocity is not there on his pitches. And that's the one thing that this Mariners lineup has been struggling with, higher velocity pitchers. They do hit those lower, when the pitcher medium for his average is sitting around 94, 93, they squash those guys. That is what Kumar Rocker is. I'm expecting the Mariners to put up a bunch of runs on him here today. My overall breakdown has him going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. Before we get to a Rangers bullpen, that's slightly taxed coming into it. The arms available, I could see them coming in, giving up another run or so, but nothing too crazy. This game is going to be out in Texas, in the Dome, most pitcher-friendly environment in the bigs. Let's get to the picks. The Mariners are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8. I really like that over 8 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Luke Riley of the Mariners for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Phillies in Miami taking on the Marlins. We got Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies. We got Tyler Phillips on the mound for the Marlins. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies. This guy has been ridiculous this season for Philadelphia. He has a 2.10 ERA, 0.90 whip for the season. Since the All-Star break, he's looked even more ridiculous. He has made 3 starts up to this point, 1.30 ERA, 0.60 whip, averaging 15 Ks per 9 innings, only averaging 3 walks per 9. Today, he's going to be seeing a Miami Marlins offense. Well, for one, the Marlins come into this game on a 12-game losing streak. They've been the worst offense in the last 2 weeks in the majors. Here today, seeing Zach Wheeler, another right-handed pitcher. They've been struggling to hit righties despite being a lineup being loaded with lefties. My overall breakdown for Zach Wheeler, a guy that's able to throw a really good splitter, a really good fastball. This Marlins lineup has been striking out. The strikeout rate, I should say, has been really going up the last 2 weeks. Like I said, coming into it, Zach Wheeler's strikeout numbers have been ridiculous up to this point. I'm expecting him to deal in this game. Go about 7 innings where he gives up a run before we get to a Phillies bullpen. That's in a decent spot to come in, shut down these Marlins bats. On the other side, we got Tyler Phillips on the mound. This guy has not been good up to this point. He's like a bona fide opener. He goes about 4 innings every time, and after that, the bullpen arms come in. Looking at his numbers overall, they are not good. He has a hard hit rate sitting at 52%. A guy that struggles with left-handed bats. You know what he's going to be seeing in this Phillies lineup here today. Not to mention, like I said, he only goes about 4 innings. In the last 30 games played, this Marlins bullpen ranks the bottom of the league, even worse than the Rockies. I do see this Marlins bullpen after Tyler Phillips leaves in the 4th inning, coming in, giving up another bunch of runs. My overall projections, the Phillies could put up at least 5 to 6 runs here today in this game. This game is going to be played down in Miami in the Dome. No weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Phillies are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I do like the over 7.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Bryce Harper of the Phillies to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Diamondbacks in Pittsburgh taking on the Pirates. We got Merrill Kelly on the mound for the D-backs. We got Mitch Keller on the mound for the Pirates. Alright, getting into this game here, we have Merrill Kelly on the mound for the D-backs. He comes into this game with a 5.12 ERA, 1.40 whip. But since the All-Star break, he's kind of turned it around. Since the break, he's made 3 starts. In those 3 starts, he has a 2.10 ERA, 1.05 whip. He has a decent strikeout to walk ratio, I should say. Looking at the matchup here today for Merrill Kelly, he's going to be seeing a Pittsburgh Pirates lineup loaded with left-handed bats. He's struggling with lefties. Not to mention the Pirates offense is a top 5 offense in the majors versus right-handed pitching. We saw this lineup stomp on Jameson Taillon yesterday. One thing similar between Kelly and Taillon is the hard hit rate and the home runs they allow. Taillon was allowing 1.5 home runs per 9. Merrill Kelly sitting at 1.6 home runs per 9. The hard hit rate coming into this game sitting at 52%. My overall breakdown for Kelly, he gets hit up in this game. Goes about 4 to 5 innings where he gives up 3 to 4 runs before we get to a Diamondbacks bullpen. That's in a decent spot. They are slightly taxed, but I can see the arms coming out this D-backs bullpen coming in this game, giving up another run or 2. On the other side, we got Mitch Keller on the mound. He's really not been good this season. 4.90 ERA, 1.30 whip. He's coming off probably one of his best starts of the season last week against the Yankees, where he pitched 5 shutout innings. One of his better starts this season has been against this Diamondbacks lineup earlier in the year, where he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. Looking at this D-backs numbers versus right-handed pitching, they have been a mediocre lineup versus righties this season. They're ranked 16th overall. In the last week or so, they have been hitting righties overall much better. When I do the matchup breakdown for Mitch Keller versus this Diamondbacks lineup, there's not too many guys I worry about besides Corbin Carroll. If he could pitch around Corbin Carroll here today, I could see Mitch Keller coming out having a similar start to the last time he saw the Diamondbacks. Go about 6 innings, give up 2 runs before we get to Pirates bullpen. It continues to be a very below average, very bad bullpen. They come into games, give up runs. I see the same thing happening here today with the arms that's going to be available. I see the arms coming out this Pirates bullpen, coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs after Keller leaves. Looking at the weather in this one, very hitter-friendly game, close to 85 degrees, 8-mile-per-hour winds blowing from the diamond to left field, giving right-handed batters a slight advantage. Let's get to the picks. The Pirates are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the over 9.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Brandon Lau with the Pirates for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Orioles in Detroit taking on the Tigers. We got Kyle Bradish on the mount for the Orioles. We got Montero on the mount for the Tigers. Alright, getting into this game here, this turned out to be a really interesting game to cap. We got Kyle Bradish on the mount for the Orioles. He's been really good this season, 3.49 ERA, 127 whip, has decent strikeout numbers. The one knock on him has been the command. Does struggle a bit with the walk rate. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Detroit Tigers lineup. Very mediocre versus right-handed pitching, a middle of the pack team. Literally, they rank 15th overall versus right-handed pitching. Doing the pitch mix breakdown for Kyle Bradish versus this Tigers lineup, his 2 best pitches are that slider and the curve. This Tigers lineup has been struggling to hit the curve this season. Guys like Carpenter, Tolkerson, two of the better bats. Kyle Bradish matches up very well against them. If he could pitch around Riley Green, I could see Bradish coming out here today having a quality start where he goes 6 to 7 innings, giving up maybe a run or 2. The depth of this game, how long he could go into this game, depends on the walk rate. If he's walking a bunch of batters, laboring in each at bat, if he's not having to do that, I could see him going into the 7th inning. By the time he leaves the 7th inning, might get a bit worrisome. This Orioles bullpen's very mediocre, but their tax coming into it. I could see the arms coming out this Orioles bullpen, giving up another run or 2. On the other side, we got Keider Montero on the mount for the Tigers. This guy's been surprisingly good for Detroit this season. He's had some really good starts every once in a while, mixed in a blow-up start. Here today, he's going to be seeing an Orioles lineup that continues to be very mediocre, I want to say bad since the All-Star break. They've been struggling to hit the ball. I'm looking at the matchup for Montero here today, though. He is a ground ball pitcher, pitches for a lot of contact, does struggle a bit with lefties. The Orioles are projected to have 6 lefties in the lineup. I can see Montero struggling a bit in this game. His hard hit rate sitting at 46% coming into it. This Orioles lineup still got pop, especially from the left-handed bats. I'm expecting Montero to go about 4 or 5 innings here today, give up 2 to 3 runs before we get to a Tigers bullpen that's in a decent spot to come in, give up another run, but nothing too crazy. This game is going to be out in Detroit. Ballpark Pal has this game rated as the 4th best offensive game on the schedule. Let's get to the picks. The Tigers are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Baltimore Orioles on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like that over 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Gunnar Henderson of the Orioles for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Blue Jays in DC taking on the Nationals. We got Scherzer on the mount for the Jays. We got Alvarez on the mount for the Nats. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Max Scherzer on the mount for the Blue Jays. This is just a sad sight to watch. This guy needs to retire. This season, this is how the season's gone for him. He comes out, makes 2 starts, gets obliterated in those 2 starts, then gets injured, gets put on the IL, goes down to the minors, comes back up, and repeats the process. Here he is once again repeating the process, back up from the IL. He comes into this game with a 10.23 ERA, whip sitting at 205, giving up 1.7 home runs per 9 innings. Left-handed batters are batting .310 against him, slugging .430. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a lineup for 1, loaded with left-handed bats. For 2, this is a top 5 offense in the majors, not to mention they crush right-handed pitching. Max Scherzer hard hit rate coming into it sitting at 45%. I'm expecting the Nationals to just obliterate Max Scherzer here once again today. My overall breakdown has him going 3 innings, giving up 5 runs before we get to a Blue Jays bullpen, a very mediocre bullpen, and their tax coming into it. I see the arms coming out this Blue Jays bullpen coming in the game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. On the other side, we got the young left-handed pitcher Andrew Alvarez on the mount. This guy's been really solid for the Nationals this season. Comes into it with a 4.22 ERA, has a really good ground ball rate. Decent strikeout numbers, doesn't really walk a bunch of guys. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Blue Jays offense that's been turning it around versus left-handed pitching. Granted, we saw them get shut out by Ranger Suarez yesterday, and there's still a bottom 10 offense versus left-handed pitching, but I'm expecting them to still get a run or 2 off the young pitcher Alvarez. Alvarez does have a very high hard hit rate. Guys like Okamoto and Vlad match up well against them. My overall breakdown for Alvarez, he goes his regular 5 innings, gives up 2 runs before we get to this Nationals Nationals bullpen. We know what they're going to do. They're going to come in this game, give up a bunch of runs. Looking at the arms that's going to be available for them, I can see them coming in, giving up a run or two, but nothing too crazy. I actually like this spot for the Nationals bullpen here today. Looking at the weather, it is going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We have a strong gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Nationals are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 10. I do like the over 10 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking James Wood of the Nationals to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Braves in New York taking on the Mets. We got Perez on the mount for the Braves. We got Thornton on the mount for the Mets. Alright, getting into this game here, we have Martin Perez on the mount for the Braves. This guy's been really good for Atlanta this season. He's been working in the pitching rotation. He's been in the bullpen when they need him to. He's done good in both roles for Atlanta up to this point. Looking at his numbers since the All-Star break though, he has gotten hit up since the break. He's made 3 starts up to this point, ERA sitting at 5.50, whip sitting at 1.66. Looking at the overall numbers for him though, one thing I do like about Perez, does not walk a bunch of batters, has a really low walk rate. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Mets lineup. For one, he saw this Mets team, I want to say about a month and a half ago. In that game, the Mets hit him up. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. But at the time when he saw the Mets, they were a top 10 offense versus lefties. In the last 30 games played versus left-handed pitching, this is a bottom 10 lineup. Not to mention, they haven't been drawing a lot of walks. The strikeout numbers have been going up for this young lineup. They're starting to show their inexperience of late. I can see Perez coming out here today, who is a ground ball pitcher, having a really good outing, going about 5 innings, giving up a run or two. Before we get to this Braves bullpen, still one of the best pens in the majors. They're rested coming into it. I like the arms available to come in for Atlanta and shut down these Mets bats. On the other side, we got a very good young left-handed pitcher, Thornton. I didn't really know about this guy. I watched a few of his starts up to this point. He looks really impressive. Has a 1.90 ERA, 0.86 whip. Has faced some really good lineups. The left-handed pitcher saw the Phillies, the Red Sox, the Brewers, and had really good showings against all of them. He throws a very good fastball 4-seam combination. Has a good sweeper as well. I like this guy. I'm looking at the matchup for him here today. He's going to be seeing a Braves lineup. Since the All-Star break, the bats have come alive a bit, but against right-handed pitching, they continue to struggle versus lefties. The big thing for Atlanta in this game, Ronald Acuna Jr. is projected to be back in the lineup, their best right-handed bat, the guy that crushes lefties. I'm expecting Thornton to come out here today, once again, go his usual 4 to 5 innings, where he gives up a run or two before we get to the back end of this Mets bullpen that is slightly taxed coming into it. I can see the arms available for the Mets coming out. This good bullpen overall coming in this game here today, giving up another run or so. This game is out in Citi Field. It's going to be a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side, but we do have a small gust of wind, about 5 to 6 miles per hour, blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Braves are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Baldwin of the Braves for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Guardians in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. We got Slade Cecconi on the mount for the Guardians. We got Chase Burns on the mount for the Reds. Alright, getting into this game here, we have Slade Cecconi on the mount for the Guardians. This guy's been very mediocre, very inconsistent for Cleveland this season. He's coming off of, well, for one, he's made 3 starts since the break. In those 3 starts, he's given up 4 runs or more in all of the games. The hard hit rate sitting at 43%. He does really struggle with left-handed bats. That's one thing about Slade, even dating back to last season. The splits versus lefties are really not that good. Fortunately for him here today, he's going to be seeing a Reds lineup with only 4 projected left-handed bats in the lineup. Not to mention, in the last 30 games played versus right-handed pitching, this is still a very mediocre offense. The slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching is really low. That's one thing Slade does struggle with against lefties, is the hard hit rate. One thing I do like about Slade, doesn't walk a bunch of batters, does have a decent strikeout rate. This Reds lineup has been striking out a bunch. I could see that being something that benefits Slade in this game here today. My overall breakdown, I see him going about 6 innings, giving up a run or two before we get to a Guardians bullpen that's in a decent spot. They are a good bullpen overall. I can see the arms coming in this game, shutting down these Reds bats. On the other side, we got Chase Burns on the mount. This guy's having a Cy Young caliber season, 2.40 ERA, 1.10 whip. The strikeout numbers are amazing here today for him. For one, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's a fastball slider pitcher. He's going to have to add some more pitches into that arsenal. One thing I don't like about this spot for for Chase Burns, This lineup is projected to have 9 left-handed bats in the order. One thing he really struggles with is lefties. He's been having a lot of good starts, but in those games they're not able to stack this many left-handed bats in the lineup. Overall, this Guardians offense is not something that scares me. We did see Drew Rasmussen hit this team yesterday, but for Chase Burns here today, the ability for him wanting to strike out, he's at his best when he's striking guys out. This Guardians lineup really doesn't strike out a lot. They are a patient lineup, able to draw a lot of walks. I'm expecting Burns to come out here today, have a very average start, go about 5-6 innings where he gives up 2 runs before we get to the back end of this Reds bullpen that is still very mediocre, if not bad. I can see them coming in the game, giving up another runner or so. This game is going to be out in Cincinnati. It's going to be very hitter-friendly weather. Small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Ballpark Pal has this game rated with a plus 19 home run percentage. Let's get to the picks. The Reds are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I like the Road Dogs in this spot. Give me the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Jose Ramirez for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Yankees in Chicago taking on the White Sox. 2 left-handed starting pitchers in this game. We got Max Fried on the mound for the Yankees. We got Noah Schultz on the mound for the White Sox. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Max Fried on the mound for the Yankees. Made his first start back last week. We look really sharp in that game. Overall in the season, this guy's been really good. Has a 2.90 ERA, 0.90 whip. Really good strikeout to walk ratio as well. Here today, he's going to be seeing a White Sox lineup. For one, they're loaded with left-handed bats. The left-handed pitcher Max Fried has very good splits with lefties. Not to mention the White Sox offense, very mediocre versus left-handed pitching. Not to mention when I do the pitch mix breakdown for Max Fried against this White Sox lineup, he matches up very well against the whole top half, all the best bats of the White Sox lineup. My overall projection for Max Fried, I could see him having a similar start to last week, where he goes about 5-6 innings. I still don't think the Yankees are going to push him too deep into these games. I see him going about 5-6 innings, giving up a run before we get to this Yankees bullpen that continues to be very average, you could say. I could still see them coming in this game, giving up another run or so, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got the young left-handed pitcher Noah Schultz on the mound. This guy has struggled this season. His hard hit rate, for one, is sitting at 52%. He's a fastball slider pitcher. Has been struggling with the command on that slider, so he's really a one-pitch pitcher at times. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Yankees lineup still down Cody Bellinger. They're still a bottom 10 offense versus left-handed pitching. Besides Paul Goldschmidt, nobody in this lineup is doing anything with lefties. We saw Chris Sanchez come out yesterday and have a good game against them. My overall projection for Schultz here today, I can still see him giving up a run or so, but nothing too crazy. My breakdown has him going 6 innings, giving up a run before we get to a White Sox bullpen that's in a really good spot to come in this game here today. Give up another run, but nothing too crazy as well. Looking at the weather in this game, it's going to be extremely hitter friendly. It's going to be over 80 degrees. We're going to have 12 to 13 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Yankees are the betting on favorites in this game here today, and I like the home dogs in this spot. Give me the Chicago White Sox on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Colson Montgomery of the White Sox for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Cubs in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. We got David Peterson on the mound for the Cubs. We got Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Cards. Alright, getting into this game here, we have David Peterson on the mound for the Cubs. This guy was a really good pitcher at one time for the Mets. In his last 2 outings, we're starting to see him get back to his old self. In his last 2 starts, he's gone past the 5th inning in both of them, only giving up a run in both of those starts. Looking at his numbers overall for the season, he's been struggling with the hard hit rate. It's sitting close to 50%, also struggling with the command. Here today, he's going to be facing a Cardinals lineup that in the last 30 games played is a bottom 10 offense versus left-handed pitching. Not to mention, these guys have been struggling to hit the sinker, which is David Peterson's primary pitch. Not the whole top half of this order, full of lefties. As long as Peterson can pitch around Jordan Walker, I can see him coming out here today having another quality start, going his regular 5 innings, if not 6, giving up a run or 2. Before we get to this Cubs bullpen, they are slightly taxed coming into it. I can see the arms coming out this bullpen, coming in this game, giving up another run or so. On the other side, we got Matthew Liberatore on the mound. This guy's probably only had 1 decent start up to this point. Other than that one start, he's given up 3 or more runs in all of his outings, walking a bunch of batters. The hard hit rate sitting at 48%. This is a guy that struggles with both sides of the plates. Despite being a left-handed left-handed pitcher, does not have good splits versus left-handed bats. He's going to be facing a Cubs lineup. In the last 30 games played, this has been a very mediocre offense as well. They've been struggling to hit lefties. But when I look at Matthew Liberatore's pitching matchup against this lineup, I can see a bunch of the guys hitting him up. Guys like Suzuki, Bush match up, all of them match up very well against Liberatore. My overall breakdown for Liberatore, he goes about 5-6 innings, gives up 3 runs here today. Before we get to this Cardinals bullpen, one of the worst bullpens in the majors in the last 30 games played, highly inconsistent, very taxed coming into this game. I see the arms coming out the Cards bullpen coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs. Looking at the weather in this one, it's going to be a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. We have a small gust of wind blown from the diamond to the outfield, really not going to affect anything. Let's get to the picks. The Cubs are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the under 9.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Suzuki of the Cubs to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Astros in Los Angeles taking on the Angels. We got Tatsui Imai on the mount for the Astros. We got Walbert Urania on the mount for the Angels. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Tatsui Imai on the mount for the Astros. I'm putting him towards the top of my list when it comes to the most volatile pitchers in the majors. This guy can look completely different between start to start. He's really at his best when he's working the strikeouts. We talk about that all the time. When you have guys that are able to work the Ks, not having to be reliant on a lot of pop flyouts, a lot of groundouts, that is the type of pitcher Tatsui Imai is. When guys are swinging and missing, he's going to look amazing. When guys are even making slight contact on the ball, they're hitting it really hard. I'm projecting Tatsui Imai here today, doing the breakdown for him. For one, he's going to be seeing an Angels lineup loaded with right-handed bats. Imai, a right-handed pitcher, has very good splits versus righties. Not to mention, this Angels team is a top 5 offense in the majors when it comes to striking out. That's something that's going to work in Imai's favor. My overall, looking at his pitching arsenal next versus this Angels lineup, I can see him coming out here today having a really good game. My overall breakdown for Imai, he goes 6 innings, gives up 2 runs. Before we get to this Astros bullpen, that's in a decent spot to come in here today and shut down these Angels bats. On the other side, we got Walbert Urania on the mount. The young pitcher is a sinker baller. He's had some really good starts this season. The big knock on him up to this point has been the control. He's been walking a bunch of batters. Then the hard hit rate started to go up as well in his last few outings. Here today, he's going to be facing an Astros lineup very similar to what we just said about the Angels. Walbert Urania is a right-handed pitcher who's going to be seeing a predominantly right-handed order for the Astros here today. Only 2 projected lefties in the lineup. If he could pitch around Jordan Alvarez, I could see him having a similar start to Tatsui Imai, going about 5 innings, giving up a run or 2 before we get to an Angels bullpen that is absolutely terrible. I can see the arms coming out this Angels bullpen being the determining factor in this game. I see them coming in this one, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. This game is going to be out in Los Angeles. It's going to be a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. Let's get to the picks. The Astros are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Jordan Alvarez of the Angels to hit a home run today. Alright, final game of the day. We got the Brewers in San Francisco taking on the Giants. We got Sprout on the mount for Milwaukee. We got Tyler Mahle on the mount for the Giants. Alright, getting into this game here, we have Brandon Sprout on the mount for Milwaukee. This guy's been very inconsistent for Milwaukee. He's been decent at some points, has had a few bad blow-up starts as well. Remember last week we did fade Brandon Sprout. One of the reasons we fade Sprout is in games where he's seeing a lineup that has very high slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching. Not to mention we like teams that do not strike out a lot. Fortunately for Sprout here today, he's going to be seeing a Giants lineup. The slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching in the last 30 games are down. Not to mention their strikeout numbers have been going up. They've been drawing a lot less walks. When they were on that heater last month, that was something they were doing crazy good. They were not striking out, drawing a bunch of walks. Right now, the roles have been reversed. They're striking out a lot, not walking. I can see Sprout, who throws the fastball in the curve, coming out having a very good game. This Giants lineup's been having a lot of whiffs on the curveball this season. My overall projection for Sprout, he goes his regular 5 innings where he gives up a run before we get to the back end of this Brewers bullpen that's in a really good spot to come in. Maybe give up another run or so, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Tyler Mahle on the mount for the Giants. This guy has been terrible this entire season. He has a 5.31 ERA, 160 whip, hard hit rate for the season sitting at 48%. He has terrible splits versus left-handed bats. Today he's going to be seeing a Milwaukee Brewers lineup loaded with lefties. The righties he will see is guys like Jackson Cherio, Andrew Vaughn. I'm expecting Mahle to come out here today and have his regular start, get hit up, go 5 innings, give up 3 runs. Before we get to the back end of this Giants bullpen, in the last 30 games played, they're a bottom 10 bullpen in the majors. I see the arms coming out this Giants pen coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs. Looking at the weather, it's a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. 12 to 13 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond straight out to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Brewers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Garrett Mitchell of the Brewers for 2 total bases. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. The damn Dodgers did not come through for us Saturday, so we'll be restarting our ladder here today with a $10 bet, and we'll be playing that $10 bet on the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. We're getting them at -118. This is our ladder play of the day. Alright, next up we have a 3-leg home run parlay we're playing here today. We're going to start it off with Bryce Harper of the Phillies. After that, we're going to play Suzuki of the Cubs, and we wrap up the parlay with Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros, a $10 3-leg home run parlay. Next up, we're going to be playing a 3-leg parlay here today. We're going to start it off with the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. We're then going to play the Philadelphia Phillies on the run line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Washington Nationals on the money line. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're playing here today. We're going to start it off with the Baltimore Orioles on the money line. We're then going to play the Cleveland Guardians on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Houston Astros on the money line. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's towards the end of the month. Let's wrap this month off right. Let's get this week started off right. I got my schedule back together. I should get all the videos out early in the morning like we used to do. I hated this new schedule I'm on, to be honest with you. But you guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. Hope we all win some money here today, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.